So with me on the comfy couch, you're probably wondering, who is that beautiful woman, Petty Missy?
My gosh.
Well, that beautiful woman happens to be the executive director of Rebuilding Hope, the Sexual Assault Center for Pierce County. And yes, Missy does not want to get off the couch. Please join me in welcoming my friend, Carlin Sampson. I just love you to death.
Love you too. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on the couch, and great that you have your own rescue kitty at home.
I know. Yes, I love the rescue
Best
pets.
dogs, aren't
they are. I mean, who rescued who?
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day.
So share with our viewers, because it's been a while since we've had you on the comfy couch, about Rebuilding Hope's history, their mission, and their scope of work in this community, because there's a momentum we're going to talk about later on. So go ahead, tell us, what do you do?
Yep. Rebuilding Hope is the Sexual Assault Center for Pierce County, and Rebuilding Hope has been around for almost 50 years. Grassroots movement in 1972 kicked it off with a formal incorporation in 1975. So we've been providing that standalone community-based sexual assault service intervention to all of Pierce County for a long time. Our mission is to offer support towards healing for all impacted by sexual assault and abuse through advocacy and therapy. And then through education and collaboration, we work to improve the community's response to sexual assault and abuse victims by working to challenge the behaviors and the beliefs that only serve to promote sexual violence.
Oh, so beautifully said. And
Thank you.
What my head heard also was when you said all affected.
All affected.
And my DEIA brain went off and went, yes, because it is truly the victim, but it's also the people around, the bystanders, the family.
It's a ripple
everybody,
effect to the whole community.
Even the dog in the family who were in crisis and someone forgot to take the dog out and feed it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Especially with this month that we're talking about, with Domestic Violence Action Month. I know we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it has a true ripple effect.
It does. So share with us what your history is, because I know you haven't been there for 50 years. So give us a little idea of when you landed on the scene.
Yep. I actually started with Rebuilding Hope as a volunteer victim advocate on the 24/7 helpline 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And came from more, if you will, maybe a criminal legal system background, but I, of course, didn't fall in love with the need for the work, but I fell in love with the profound impact that the work could have, the long-term impact and connectivity that community-based advocacy, trauma-focused therapy, and community-based education services could have with, again, all of those individuals and their loved ones impacted by sexual violence, and with the broader community hopefully working with us to put an end to sexual violence. And so I have just grown up through the agency. I've served as an advocate for many years, a preventionist, case manager, and then grew in leadership through coordinator and management positions, and I've been the executive director since 2020.
You are that executive director who has held almost every position.
Almost every position.
If not filled in for every position.
I think just about everything except for a clinical therapist role.
Yeah, there we go. And that's next. Because we could do that. When we think about cracking that big nut of domestic violence, let's focus in on what are the core services offered at Rebuilding Hope?
Core services, first and foremost, is 24/7, 365, confidential, anonymous if you want to remain, access to information and referral, sexual assault specific crisis intervention, and then general medical and legal advocacy. And I really want to stress that to the community. It can involve contacting that helpline, utilizing our confidential online chat, reaching out through email, whether you have questions, if you were recently assaulted, or if you experienced sexual violence decades ago, and you're just now exploring the opportunity or the sense of safety or invitation to disclose, to share your story, or to seek some type of remedy or support. So the 24/7 advocacy is really kind of the main gateway or entryway into services, and that's available to any, again, individual who's directly experienced or indirectly experienced sexual assault and abuse, maybe verbal sexual harassment, child sexual abuse, rape, attempted rape, commercial sexual exploitation or sex trafficking. But it includes those other individuals who are supportive to the survivors. So parents, caregivers, spouses, partners, friends, siblings, co-workers, roommates. It's the whole spectrum. And those advocacy services are at no charge, and they're available regardless of what your age is. If you want to remain anonymous, we're not going to turn down a phone call, a message, an inquiry. our goal is to get you connected to support. Therapy, trauma-focused therapy that's sexual assault and abuse specific, that's available to individuals impacted by sexual assault and abuse and their loved ones, 13 years of age or older. And usually people access therapy services by first making contact through our advocacy program. So 24/7 access to support. And then we offer a broad range of educational services.
Yes, you do.
That includes prevention education. I know the photo that was just up there was our
Yes.
prevention team presenting to, I think, 300 plus University
UPS.
of Puget Sound
Yes.
students. Yep, so prevention education as well as professional training and technical assistance. And then we do offer comprehensive wraparound case management to youths and adults both at risk for or confirmed to have experienced any form of commercial sexual exploitation.
My God.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I think people often ask is, do you have to report, you being Rebuilding Hope or any of your amazing team, report their assault to work with you?
No.
Okay.
Because we know, I mean, those, I think Department of Justice statistics show that at most maybe 25% of survivors ever report to criminal legal systems. And we're here to speak to the whole 100% population of survivors. So no, people do not have had to report their assault to anybody.
Right.
Medical services, legal services, social services to work with us. We can help offer advocacy, inform survivors of their rights, and help bridge that gap between
Right.
survivor and systems if they choose to report. But that's their choice.
That's their choice. So when I saw you that picture of your team at UPS, one of my thoughts was, wow, Rebuilding Hope partners with providers to serve domestic violence survivors, but also you really intersect that domestic violence and intimate partner violence. And so when I look at the stage in UPS and I think about people in school getting to know each other, they're away from home for the first time,
Yep.
those kinds of opportunities and unfortunately those kinds of hurts happen.
Yeah. So I think it's important to help make the public aware of just what the general intersection is between sexual violence and domestic violence or intimate partner violence. We know that 60% of people who survive domestic violence also experience sexual assault within that context. We know that the risk of severe injury and lethality is so heightened when sexual violence is a component of the intimate partner violence experience. And I believe it's somewhere between 25 and 30% of all sexual assault survivors are assaulted by a current or a former partner. So the intersection is very real. There's no doubt about it.
You bet.
And then the work of collaborating to provide those services. Every community is going to be very different and unique, but in Pierce County, we're very proud to have strong collaborative relationships with multiple organizations that special in intimate partner violence responses. So we make sure that we are well coordinated to deliver warm handoffs to organizations like the Crystal Jetson Family Justice Center. You'll have them on here soon.
Yeah, you're warming the couch
Right?
for them.
YWCA Pierce County Korean Women's Association, our Sisters House, who we love. So that whenever there's that intersection, we can offer those survivors a whole network of providers, not an either or,
Yes.
but a yes and. We also share, thank you to City of Tacoma, city funds with the Family Justice Center and our Sisters House to help us coordinate, respond to, and triage all of the intersecting referrals for individuals and families who are experiencing sexual assault, family violence, domestic violence, and commercial sexual exploitation. Wow. So it's just a really rich community. And we also partner with the Family Justice Center. Rebuilding Hope does the hospital responses to all Pierce County emergency departments.
Good to know.
So now when patients present with non-fatal strangulation, we will respond out to those cases and make a warm referral to the Family Justice Center for the families or the individuals who experience that specifically within a DV context.
I heard a rumor in the wind that Rebuilding Hope is experiencing so much growth right now.
Yes.
What's happening in this education department? I heard something about Kitsap County.
Yep, so a couple of things. One, we have been, again, providing these advocacy therapy services to Pierce County for almost 50 years. And starting late of this summer, the state granted us a contract to expand those services to replicate them essentially into Kitsap County.
Congratulations.
So thank you. We're very excited. There's still so much work to continue doing in Pierce. None of that will change.
Yep.
And we're really just in our infancy developmental steps of getting to know the Kitsap County community. And we will be continuing to lean in a lot on our leaders, our funders, and our stakeholders, both in Pierce and Kitsap County, to bring the full scope of equitably accessible services to that community.
Oh,
now.
I love this. So
Yeah.
how can our community that's watching right now connect with Rebuilding Hope if they want to support your mission, they want to support your work, or if they are watching from Kitsap County and want to know all the details?
Yeah. So we have a lot of ways that you can connect with our agency in general. We love doing outreach and tabling, so don't be shy. If you see Rebuilding Hope, we've been at lots of events like Hilltop Street Fair, Tacoma Pride, and then November 1st, we're going to be at Collaboration for a Cause at the Tacoma Dome, hosted by Pierce County Community Engagement Task Force. And then ways to show support. Please consider volunteering. I started as a volunteer victim advocate 10 years ago. We are currently looking for potential new board leaders to help support the governance of the agency. And you can join by becoming a monthly donor. Join our Teal team, which is a newly formed club for that. We have Hope for the Holidays, a month-long online giving campaign coming just around the corner. Giving Tuesday all through the month of December. And then April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So we utilize that opportunity to bring awareness and action to ending sexual violence. And with our annual Spring Soiree as our main fundraising event of the year. So that will be Friday, April 26th in 2024 at the Silver Cloud Hotel in Point Ruston.
You are amazing. I don't know how
Thank
you
you.
keep your heart and mind so fluid and connected, but you are an exercise of warmth and clarity and brilliance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to you and your whole team for what you do. There isn't a moment when I have been in Rebuilding Hope that I haven't felt the love, the commitment, the protection, and the understanding of what sacred work is being done.
Thank you.
And so I say thank you so very much. And I want to have you back on this couch sooner than later.
Sooner than later, absolutely. I would be happy to be. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. When we come back, Crystal Judson Family Justice Center will be here. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.